Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Idea to Empire podcast. I'm Chanaye, and I'm excited for you to be here and to meet today's guest. Today's guest is named Anitra Dean. She is a founder, CEO, all around the gal for Anitra Dean Consulting. And to tell you a little bit about who she is, here's her quick and dirty bio. So Anitra serves her clients as a fractional COO, Chief Operating Officer, and a strategic planner to organize her clients' operations, plans, processes for their business growth. She's on a mission to support women entrepreneurs and small business owners to move from being stuck and disorganized to having the clarity, structure, and momentum to take that next first step. I love that. It's beautiful, right? So just so you know, Anitra is a wife, a dog mom, a foodie, and a reader. So I'm excited for you guys to meet her, and let's jump into it. Let's bring on Anitra Dean.
Hi there. Hey, Chanaye.
How are you? It's so good to see
you. I'm so excited to be with you and your audience for the Idea to Empire podcast. This is so exciting.
Thank you for coming, and thank you for being amazing and talking to these folks. They have so many things to learn from you, and this conversation is going to be everything. And let's make sure that everybody's clear. You and I do similar things.
Yeah.
So you know that this is even more of a treat because I'm like, yeah, like she has such good things to say and like such a wealth of knowledge that it doesn't matter if you have the same business as somebody else or a similar business as somebody else. We all out here doing what we're supposed to be doing, and we can learn from each other. Tell me, how did you get to doing what you're doing? Tell them
all the things. Yeah. So the way in which I got started in my business was actually was really interesting. I was working at a nonprofit foundation, and at that time, my husband was a self-published author. He wrote a series of this like dystopian fiction novel. And I was doing the back end of our self-publishing company. So I was literally just going on with my life, being a wife, like helping him with his, with his little business. And, and I was just working my full-time job, not a whole lot of exciting things going on. But at that time, a colleague of mine reached out to me and she's like, Anitra, I'm hearing all the stuff you're doing with your husband. And I've got this, consulting business that I'm running. Do you think that you could help me? And I was like, sure. Like completely came out of the blue. And like, as they say, the rest was history. I started working kind of part-time with her, like, like that whole working 9 to 5 and then working with her like either early in the mornings or late at night, doing that thing. And then I decided to just go out on my own. And so I was one of those pandemic businesses that came out. And so in May of 2023 was like my 2-year kind of anniversary, just working with amazing, phenomenal, visionary women entrepreneurs and just really helping them to understand their businesses, understand their operations, and how to pull all of those things together to get organized and to really push forward with the momentum in their business.
So, you know that the folks that listen to this podcast are business owners. They're trying to figure things out. They're frustrated, possibly overwhelmed. They're doing the things. So what can we be doing to make things better in our businesses, not overwhelm ourselves, stop being frustrated? Let's talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's definitely talk about that. So the number one thing that I usually talk to my clients about who are very in those similar spaces, they're feeling stuck and disorganized. They are not achieving what they set out to do. And some of them have what I would like to call the entrepreneur bad day, where you're just like, I'm so done with this. I'm going back and getting a full-time job. Like I'm done. Like I'm just going to roll everything up, move everything out, like going back and just getting a full-time job. And part of when I have clients and, either when I'm working with them or when I start working with them and they're just at that place, the one thing that I realize that is key to us moving forward and moving beyond the frustration and moving beyond the stuckness is we have to focus on managing our distractions. I know a lot of people talk about like imposter syndrome. I know people talk about, shiny object syndrome or I need to have more confidence, or I need to have like this gargantuan business plan and all those things. And I'm not saying that addressing some of those things are important and having a business plan isn't important. Those things are all have their places. But the thing that I have realized as I have worked with clients and even in my own professional life is that the things that gets us frustrated is because we get distracted. We don't know how to manage them. And when we don't know how to manage them and set good boundaries, everything goes haywire because like we're allowing things to take control over our decision making instead of us being the leader to actually get the things done and to say, nope, I'm not doing that. Nope, this is not the quarter for that. No, I think you're awesome, but this ain't the right time for us to meet. No, this email is not important right now because I've got to go ahead and serve this client. No, I'm sorry. Like I actually have some family commitments that happen at 6:00 in the evening. So no, I can't attend your network. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. And so like what I like to talk about is that, in managing distractions, I kind of put them in these three categories. They're like structural distractions, they're mindset distractions, and they're the life distractions. And here's the thing. All distractions to some degree are not necessarily all bad. But again, when they take over our ability to make decisions, that's when things become problematic. And so when I talk about structural distractions, I'm talking about like email. Okay. You can make a decision on when you answer your emails. You don't have to respond within the first 5 minutes of them.
Amen. Say that again.
Okay. Corporate taught us you ain't responsive if you don't answer within the first 5 minutes. Okay. You are a business owner. You are not in that world. Honey, I said 1 to 2 business days. I have not had any complaints. I have had renewal clients based upon that communication strategy. I've had no issues with that. It's not that urgent for you to answer every email within 5 minutes. Just for example of a structural kind of distraction. A life distraction would be if you're working from home, and as much as I adore my husband, sometimes he forgets that when Anitra is at her desk, this ain't time to be asking Anitra about what's going to be for dinner or what's happening with the laundry. Okay. I love him. He's great. He is supportive. He is like my champion for me, for my business. I am so blessed to have him as a great partner. But sometimes I'm just like, I don't want to be answering questions about laundry right now. Anitra is at the desk right now. She is creating them strategies for these women to conquer. Right. This is business time. Okay. So we have those. And y'all know, living through the pandemic, and just if you work from home, you're going to get those life distractions. Okay. And so sometimes you have to have those conversations, shut the door, just to remind gently, lovingly, but gently that like, I hear you on the laundry, but I don't really know. Can you go check it out for me? If it's really a big problem, if the washing machine's on fire, then let me know. And then, we'll take care of it, And then I think like the other piece where I really work on with my clients and where I think most of us as entrepreneurs get stuck is the mindset distractions. That's really the kicker of where we really get stuck. And so like one of the ones that I would say that I think is the biggest thing that I think a lot of entrepreneurs, when you're like in that 1 to 3 year range, and even I would say even later than that, but I think a common thing that distracts us is what I call, what we probably all know as the shiny object syndrome. We believe that new things will fix old problems.
Yes.
I'm going to say that again for the people in the back. We believe that new things will fix old problems. And that's not how this works. Okay. And part of it The reason why we think that a new thing will fix an old problem is because we're impatient. We are incredibly impatient. Okay. And this is not anecdotal, people. This is stats. This is factual around it. And here's the data for you. Okay. It takes on average 60 days to create a habit. 60 days. Okay. To see the results of that habit, on average, it takes another 60 days. So it's 4 months.
Yeah.
4 months, a third of a year that it takes to not just build it, but then see the results from it. So when we're in our business, and unfortunately, some of these little internet, LinkedIn, IG, TikTok people that are out here, I'm not
influencers.
I'm not mad at y'all, but I'm just saying, when they're like, oh, within 90 days, you're going to be able to see all these great results, or in 3 weeks, you're going to be able to change your... I'm sorry to disappoint you, but factually, that's really not true. Because as human beings, we have to develop good habits in order for us to have success. It takes time to develop it. I know we may see these overnight sensations, but I can guarantee that they probably were doing a whole other things in the back end that they didn't actually tell you in that last story that they did, of like the 3 years of work that they did to get to this miraculous like moment. Like they didn't share with you all the details, but what is factual is that it's going to take you some time to develop the habits, the consistency, the discipline to get there. And you cannot get impatient in the process, because it is a process that you're going through. And so partly to manage that distraction is that you have to manage and realign those expectations of how long it's going to take to get there. But in the journey, you also can set milestones and benchmarks along the way so that you can kind of check in to see whether or not the progress you're actually making is actually getting you closer. Okay. Yeah. And so I'm not saying that like to give up within the first 30 days. Okay. Maybe you didn't reach the milestone, but then you need to start asking your questions of why that didn't happen. There are things that you can even figure out, even at those milestones and benchmarks, to see, was it external issues or internal issues that caused you to not reach that goal line? That doesn't necessarily mean that you need to give up. It just may need to say that like you may need to make some changes to keep going.
Yes.
And so I believe that when we look again, as we look at those life and structural and mindset distractions, and we learn how to manage them more efficiently and effectively, we will definitely feel a lot less frustrated in our business.
1,000%. And actually, it's interesting. You know, one thing that I admire about you, you're so good at breaking it down into bite size. Like I can digest. I have 3 main distractions in my life, in my business, and these are structural mindset in life. Like that is key to understanding where I'm going to be, where I'm trying to go. And I love that you really talked about like not getting overwhelmed, frustrated by seeing others who are so much further ahead, because they perhaps have had the discipline, they've had a background that you can't see. I tell people all the time, like if you're in year 2, don't be comparing yourself to people that have been in business in year 10. I had to catch myself even yesterday. I had a phone call with a lady and I was like, man, I don't offer that. Man, I don't do that. And she goes, wait, I have been in business for over 15 years, and all the people that I saw 15 years ago have come with me since. And I was like, oh, well, I haven't been in business for 15 years. So let me just go ahead and enjoy where I am now. Enjoy the journey to get to 15 years.
Exactly.
That shiny object syndrome. I know that I know I'm guilty of it. I'm sure all of us are guilty of it, like real talk.
Yep.
But I love understanding, like, I tell people pretty frequently, like, hey, when you get a new thing, when you buy that thing, when you subscribe to that thing, whatever it is, doesn't really matter. Oftentimes, you're trying to pay for a problem that you don't actually have.
Yes.
And so like, yeah, so the shiny object is amazing. It's awesome. It's pretty. It does everything I thought it would do. Blah, blah. But like, it's not solving the problem that I actually have. It's not getting me to the next step. It's solving a problem that's like so itsy bitsy that the needle doesn't actually move.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. And we think that if we just hold on to that shiny object just a little bit more, and sometimes we holding on to things that we should have let go, that like eventually it's going to fix it. But also to recognize that like when we don't manage those distractions, such as shiny object syndrome, how much money have we lost because we continue to purchase new things to solve old problems? The hundreds, if not thousands of dollars that is lost because we continue to purchase things that we think that is going to work the problem, when the original solution that we had is probably going to be able to go ahead and fix it if we were to continue to be patient with the process to go through it. So now we spent $3,000 on a brand new system that the $20 system that we actually purchased was going to fix it all. And so now you're like, well, why am I? And here's the big picture, y'all. Then you're starting to ask yourself questions. Well, why am I not profitable? Then you start to ask your questions. Why can't I meet my sales goals? Why is it so expensive for me to acquire another customer? Why is my profit margin so low? Those are the bigger pieces in which this affects, okay? And that's the monetary side, not let alone the time that is put in to then figure out how to deal with these problems. And I'll give you an example, like that I remember very early on, I was listening to someone, I cannot remember who it was, on Instagram very early on in my business. And one of the things they were saying was that like, sometimes like you just need to go ahead and like stop trying to solve problems that you're just not at. And so like, and also too, when we were in corporate, we got paid for every little itty bitty thing. When we took vacation, if we worked in positions that actually paid for our vacation, guess what? We were still getting paid. The number of hours that you spend on things to try to chase after a new shiny object syndrome and spending 10, 20, 50 hours to try to incorporate it into your new system is money that you're not getting paid for, because we know that we get paid when we have, especially if you're in a service-based industry, we get paid when we get clients. I don't get paid for the hours in which I'm spending trying to figure out a widget. That's on my own PT time at this point in time. And I'm sorry, y'all, I'll be out here working for free. My business is not my hobby.
And the only way that it's not your hobby is by making money.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. You do not want to have an expensive hobby, i.e. your business. I'm sorry. I like to cook. I also like to knit, and I love my dog. Okay. Love my dog. Okay. She is spoiled. Okay. She's expensive. How spoiled she is. Okay. But that's money that I'm willing, and knowing that the value of having my dog with me is the value that I have. So I'm willing to shuffle out the amount of money and the vet bills and her new toys every month. I'm okay with that sunk loss. I'm not okay with that in my business, that I'm losing $300, $1,000, $5,000 in my business because I chose not to be patient with the process and to make the changes that I need to be. That is unacceptable to me. And it should be unacceptable to you, because your business is here to make money. We want to see your success, and you cannot be at the level of success that you desire until you put in and manage the distractions and develop the discipline and the consistency to get there. That's all. That's the only way to get there. Not having 10,000 followers on Instagram, not being the top #1 contributor on LinkedIn, not having a viral TikTok. That is not what is going to lead to your success. What's going to lead to your success is the discipline and the consistency to get it done.
Manage those distractions.
Yeah.
Bring it all. I love that this is what we're talking about today, because like I think I needed to hear it for myself, because I am queen of, oh, that's so cool. Oh, I want to do that. But what a technique that I'm starting to put into my own business is, what is my hourly wage? Period,
Mm.
right? And so if I'm messing around with a new system because I needed to get it, then it means that I'm probably driving down my hourly wage. And I want my hourly wage to be 24 hours, not that 8 hours that we were used to being in corporate. So what happens when I'm not doing things that push my business to make more money, to do what I needed to do? I'm reducing my hourly wage. I'm getting paid less than, working at McDonald's, flipping burgers, doing fries, right? Like I want my hourly wage to be as high as I possibly can. I want to make money while I'm sleeping. And so me sleeping should be a part of my hours worked.
Right. And I will say, to double down, and I love that technique of like, what is your hourly wage? Because I don't think that we talk about pricing, but I don't think sometimes that we equate and evaluate like what is those like unpaid hours and like how much that's costing us. And I think if we really actually understood what that was, our decisions would probably be a little bit different. But I remember the first time when my husband was publishing his books, I remember the first time we made a sale in our sleep. I remember like the day before, like we didn't have a sale. And I remember waking up that next morning and someone bought our book in our sleep. When I tell you, that feeling was like, I want to do that again. Like, replay that. Like, replay that play. Like, I want that feeling. It was amazing to be like, I can actually make money in my sleep. Okay. And so, like, you've got to find the things that also bring you joy in the business to be able to go ahead and to keep that momentum going. But I actually want to, Chanaye, I want to also, I think to also put this in a little bit more perspective and, and to kind of give you like a visual analogy. I know, Chanaye, that recently on LinkedIn, you did this phenomenal post about Atlanta traffic and about how, sometimes like, when we think about business, like it's like going into traffic. Like, when we get up in the morning, or if we're thinking about, being in our corporate positions, or when we were employed somewhere, we actually kind of sometimes, like maybe not all the times, but like if we looked on our Google Maps or whatever, we were trying to figure out like, what's that route that I'm going to take, to get to work so that we can avoid all of the distractions and the traffic accidents and the construction zones and all of those pieces.
Atlanta, it's always construction.
Right. And so I think when you think about the long game of your business, think of it as you're going on a road trip. Okay. Again, this is not a sprint. This is more of a marathon. This is a several day road trip that you're going on.
Atlanta to California.
Right. Now, I know for some of us, like we may, in our personal lives and with our group of friends, we may just want to meander, figure out our way to our destination. And that's all good and dandy. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. But in business requires discipline and it requires planning.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to tell you, the winging it, we're going to meander to figure out where our destination is going to be, is only going to make the trip a lot longer.
Yeah.
And it's only going to make you more frustrated along the way.
Yeah.
And part of it, if you're driving down the road in this road trip, you're going to see these little side attractions. You're going to see, Henry's biggest pumpkin. You're going to be like, I've seen a big pumpkin. Let me stop the car. Let's drive over here to see the biggest pumpkin. That took 2 hours off your road trip to go see the biggest pumpkin, stand in line, buy the tickets, take the pictures, put a post on Instagram. That's a whole lot for a side attraction in this road trip called getting closer to the vision of your business. Okay. Yeah. Then 3 miles later, there's a fruit stand. Oh, they got some beautiful peaches over there. And the watermelons and some mangoes. They got bananas. Oh, girl, get on the side of the road. Oh, they even got some peanuts too. Let's go. Let's go ahead and You already got snacks in the car, y'all. The snacks.
Let's go. Let's go.
Okay. And then, as we all know, especially with some of y'all that got kids out here, I need to go to the bathroom. The life distractions be coming in there too. I need to go to the bathroom. I'm hungry. Okay.
Yep.
And then you're also going to get the prompting of, are we there yet? We ain't going fast enough. Are we there yet?
Mm-mm-mm.
And we're going to manage that piece in us that want to make things to run faster and being at places that we're not supposed to be because we keep asking ourselves, well, are we there yet? Are we there yet? No.
No.
The reason why we're not there yet is because you had to go to the fruit stand. You got to go see the pumpkin. There was that carnival that was on the side of the road. Lily in the back had to go pee 3 times in a span of an hour. Okay. Okay. All of this stuff is going on in your business. Okay. And I'm not saying that it's not okay to take a side trip once in a while to figure out whether or not it's going to work. Okay. That's business. That's what we like to call back in corporate research and development. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
But at the same time, you can't just be stopping every 30 minutes trying to research that, figure that out. And then, I got to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
you can't.
We just can't do this. We can't do it.
You can't do it. Yeah, and then you're gonna feel frustrated. Like, well, why aren't we there yet? Why are the other people who's also driving in the car next to me? Why are they a lot further along than me? Why is that happening? And why am I back here? Like, why does Susie Q have a fruit stand on the side of the road? Asking yourself, why don't I have a fruit stand? Well, honey, you don't sell fruit. Like, you don't sell fruit. That's not your audience. Your audience doesn't want fruit.
And you don't like fruit. What does it matter?
Exactly. You don't even like fruit. Like, why are you trying to now be like, I went to the sideshow. I enjoyed the sideshow. Now I'm all depressed and upset because like I don't have this in my business. Like, no, like this is the distractions that I'm talking about. That's going to leave you frustrated. That's going to leave you feeling disillusioned. And that's going to make you feel like going back to a full-time job. And there ain't nothing wrong with going back to a full-time job. But if the purpose in which you know of the impact that you want to make in this world and your life and your community, like you cannot keep getting distracted by continuing to go to sideshows to see the biggest pumpkin. It ain't going to happen.
Not going to work. Mm-hmm.
It's not going to work.
We don't have time for this. We don't have energy for this. And we have work to do that's going to move our needle. And that's what we're trying to do every day. You drop so many gems. And so the bonus question for you. So you know who these folks are that are listening. They're business owners. They're trying to get things done. Mm-hmm. What's a word or a phrase what kind of motivation can you give them? What's something that you would say, keep this in mind as you move forward in your day, in your business, in your weeks, in your months to come?
It's the one thing that is actually the emblem, one of the emblems in the logo of my business. It's a rose. And it's because there's a core belief that you only bloom in the right environments. I know there's like this motto around bloom where you're planted, and that's all well and good. But I truly believe that each and every one of you is unique. You have a unique solution to solve the problems and the pain points of the people who you're serving. And the only way that's going to happen is if you bloom in the environment that is going to light you up and support you to be successful. Orchids do not live outside for a reason. They are delicate flowers. They will die out in the rainstorm, okay? These little orchids, they get fed ice cube water, okay? If you are an orchid, your butt does not need to be outside in a rainstorm. You're going to die. Cactuses live out in the desert, okay? They are resilient plants. Okay, we need those kinds of plants. Okay, but we put them in the air conditioning, they're probably going to die because that is not the kind of environment that they thrive in. So the thing that is going to motivate you is ensuring that you have and that you are living in the right environment. That means that you are surrounding yourself with the right people. That means you may need to unfollow some people on your favorite social media sites because they ain't the right people that's going to help you grow. Truth. Okay. That means
get out of that group chat. Get out of that group.
Get out of the group chat. Okay. That means also, yes, we may be frustrated sometimes that like the people who we talk to when we talk about business, that they don't fully understand what we do, but that's okay. I have brunch with one of my best friends monthly. She has we have talked about business so many times. She truly still doesn't really understand what I do, but she is so supportive. She literally like, Anitra, you are so excited. And I'm just so proud of you. Like, I don't fully understand it all, but you are so happy and you are so ecstatic about it. Like, go do whatever it is. Those are the kinds of friends and family members that you need to hear from, because when things go wrong in your business, you need these people to go ahead and lift you up and to remind you that your life is not your business, that you are a friend, a sister, a dog mom, that there are things outside of you. And so, and the only way that you do this is that you've got to create and thrive in that environment. Okay. And so that is my encouragement to you. It's just to find that support system so that you can thrive.
Yeah, that's the encouragement. There are people who can be on your side. Go find them, put them in your life, meet them, see them, love them, chat with them as often as you can, as often it makes sense. And don't be sidetracked by all those distractions.
Yeah.
You're fantastic. So I know you have something you can offer to the folks. Tell them what it is.
Yeah. So a part of one way in which I serve my clients and how I help them to manage distractions is through an accountability coaching program called Momentum Coaching. And it's based around a coaching methodology called flash coaching. And really what that is that like, it's very typical what you see in most coaching programs where there's like a roadmap or some type of strategy session. And then you have like pre-scheduled sessions where you like check in and, and figure out where your progress is. The difference between the coaching program that I provide is that you do not meet with me until you complete the things that we discussed at the last session. So we don't pre-schedule sessions. You only meet with me once you get your stuff done. And the reason why we do that is so that you actually are only focused on the things that you can actually accomplish within a time in which you realistically can get them done. And typically for my clients, it's usually about 2 weeks. And that's just, and so I'm only going to assign you to do things that I know that you can get done in 2 weeks. And if you can't get those things done in 2 weeks and maybe you need an extra week to do it, then use the extra week to do it and don't meet with me, because you need to be focusing on getting things done, not talking to me about why you didn't get done. Why are we wasting your time and money talking to me about the things that you didn't get done instead of me giving you the time to actually get it done? So if that is something where you're like, I need support to be able to have someone to hold me accountable and to ensuring that I get these bite-sized ways in order to get momentum going, check out my website at www.anitradean.com/services and look at the Ops Accelerator Momentum Coaching to see if that's something that you'd be interested in. And if you're not really sure, you would like some more information, schedule a discovery call with me. You can also find that link also on my website.
Perfect. Momentum coaching, that sounds perfect. Like, do the things in bite-sized steps and don't meet with me until you're ready. Ask questions.
And one of my mantras is like, I don't take money from people who don't believe I can help them. And for me, I'm just like, why am I going to create a program where all I feel like I'm doing is taking your money and you're not actually getting anything from that? That doesn't sound right to me. And so like, let's meet when you can meet. And if you have an issue in your business, great, take care of it.
Yeah.
Meet with a client, like do the things that you need to do. And when you need me, I'm still here.
Yeah. I love that offer. I love that. So all of this will be in the show notes, in the description. Everything will be there. So tell them where to find you.
Awesome. So you can find me on LinkedIn, as well as on Instagram at Anitra Dean Consulting. And then I also have a newsletter where you can also keep in touch. Again, if you go to my website and join that's a monthly newsletter that I send out. And that's definitely a great place to hang out and to just get some exclusive offers and then resources and just information there as well. So that's the way to find me and to keep in touch.
Everyone should definitely keep in touch. Anitra is a wealth, as you can tell, of knowledge thoughtfulness, and you're truly a gem, truly fabulous. And thank you for giving me the reminders. Like, let's manage the distractions so you can make some money. And like we said before, both of us are in the same sort of space. We operate talking to around the same folks. And like, look, like she gave me something, right? Like that's thank you. And let's
yes, we learn from each other. Like we're here to grow together. So yeah, and thank you, Chanaye, for just inviting me to just talk with you and your audience today. Like it's been a joy and a pleasure. So much fun.
Oh, you broke it down, lady. You broke it down. So thank you so much for joining the Idea to Empire podcast. I'm Chanaye Jackson. You'll get all of the links down in the show notes. Idea to Empire, Swantown Creative. I'll see you next time. Thanks, Anitra.
Bye.